Whenever people meet me, they will tell the children, next time when you grow up, be like professor. I will reply, I want you to be better than me.
Faishal Ibrahim became acting minister in charge of Muslim affairs in May and has been busy engaging the Malay Muslim community, meeting individuals and families, listening to their ideas and aspirations. A Member of Parliament since 2006, Associate Professor Faishal was teaching estate management at the National University of Singapore when he entered politics. I'm Sumiko from the Straits Times. We are having nasi padang at Reimer Eating House in Kembangan, an area he represents in Marine Parade, Braddell Heights, GRC.
People sometimes use the word unenviable to describe the role you're in right now. Why do you think that's so?
Being minority, not only in Singapore, in every part of the world, there is this notion of your issues affecting you, your lives, and also how at times you are marginalized in some aspects of the life. At the end of the day, it's about how we can engage together with certain values, certain principles that we live in Singapore, like multiracialism, for example, the dynamic situation of how you live in a multiracial setting. Certain incidents, certain signals happen that may affect the different racial groups. And all this, I'm happy that the government is cognizant of it and want to make sure that whatever sensitivity they are, we want to engage the community and try our best to governize it and move forward as a society in Singapore. I'm happy to see Malay community has developed so much better today than in the past. But there are certain areas that we're still lagging behind. So when we lag behind and then there are issues that affect them directly, they may feel, including myself, we ought to do better and how we can help better.
What are two issues where there's tension between community needs or beliefs and the national policies?
For example, in the past we had the organ transplant issue, but with the discussion, with the fatwa given, so it somehow provide a platform for us to agree and move on as a policy. And also we have seen how the tudung issue has been dealt with. Of course, Singaporeans would like to have more Hajj quotas, for example. This is something that PM, together with the rest of the Malay MPs, know that this is important. So we continue to appeal. In fact, just a few weeks ago, I sent a note to the Saudi government to appeal for higher quota. But again, some of these things are not within our control. We continue to do what is best for the community and we will not give up.
More recently, there was the Gaza issue.
It's a difficult issue, but doesn't mean we can't do anything. I'm quite convinced that people have a better understanding today about the Singapore position. And also, Singapore is not a country whereby we don't do what we say. In fact, we walk the talk. People have recognized the government have actually been doing things and galvanizing Singaporeans to do things and have shown it. And not only given a little bit, but we have given as a society more than 22 million. And that's a lot compared to some countries who have spoken loudly but may not have contributed the same way as we have done. So we have done it the Singapore way, and I think at the same time we are able to continue to keep Singapore safe and secure.
So when you became a minister, did you have a to-do list?
I've taken on and I look at some of the issues that are sensitive, that community would like more to be done. I want to get an opportunity to galvanize the community together and connect them to the Singapore story better.
To keep Singapore going, we must be a we-first society.
So I remember PM talking about we, how in addition to developing oneself, how we can develop the Singapore spirit together. And he used the word we very, very significant, because the Malay community has a very strong spirit of gotong royong. It's about we. It's about us doing things together as a community. And when you link up that stronger to the Singapore story, it's a bigger we. And I'm convinced, I met many of the members of the Malay community. They are reasonable, they are generous, they have very strong sense of wanting to contribute. It's about how we can navigate this together and also connect better in a manner that bring us together to the bigger picture of how we can continue to develop and write the next chapter of the Singapore story.
Do you think your life has been a good example of the Singapore story?
Whenever people meet me, they will tell the children, next time when you grow up, be like professor. I will reply, I want you to be better than me. Because when you are better than me, you will contribute to Singapore's development, and all of us here, including your family, will have a reasonably good life here in Singapore. So my hope, many more people, and particularly the Malay Muslim community, will have a chance to have that journey similar to what I had, even though it was a tough time, I can imagine, for my parents when they got married in the early years. But the Singapore environment ecosystem provided the impetus and environment to get my family to grow.
Your son became a president scholar. Any tips on parenting?
My message to my children has always been just pass. Because one is I want them to complete, just pass, and then with love and care, I think as a human being, they will develop that self-motivation to do better than what one expects. And both my children, I think they do better than what I expected. And I think it is a journey, but whenever they face challenges, that's where parents, siblings should come in, give that necessary support, because it's critical. I think what is key to all parents, no doubt my kids, even though they have done reasonably well, they are just like any other human being. They are not perfect just like me, but what has been perfect was the love and care we showed to them since they were born.
Thank you very much for having lunch.
Thank you.
When I started the business, everyone was asking, why do you take a toy and try to make a transport business out of it?